Aha! Good morning, everyone. I finally got the camera to sit in a stable position on this rock so I can make a video. So I'm out here at this local park that I've never been to, hearing the hum of the traffic in the background and the waking up of the birds, the sun, the sky, the earth. And morning time is something that I really enjoy. Morning is one of my favorite times. I have to say, if there was a favorite time of the day for me, it would be morning. I am a morning person. I'm groggy like everyone else sometimes, but I enjoy the morning. It's a time of rebirth and awakening. And I think I never had as much appreciation as I do for sleep until recent years. I heard someone once comparing, it was Manly Hall, I think, comparing the analogies of the morning and the night, as well as the summer and the winter, and you can extend that to life and death. The dark winter of man's soul, things like that. There's a lot of symbolism where people utilize the seasons and the night and the day to symbolize moments in our lives. And it's my opinion that, on a Saturday morning here, in a place I've never been, looking around at new places, new trees, new space, it gives me a newfound appreciation for life. And every single day I wake up and I feel that newfound appreciation. But it wasn't always that way. I should say there were years where I'd wake up anxious and stressed about the day ahead, about things I had to accomplish, about what I was going to do and what I wasn't going to do. Am I going to be able to finish this thing on time? Oh shoot, am I going to be able to get this job? How am I going to function? How am I going to make money? And today I'm not really in any different of a boat. I'm still struggling to make ends meet. I still don't have very much money at all. But I have the appreciation for life, the gusto to live. It's an amazing thing. It's something that's just inherent within us, and we either have it, I guess, or we don't, or we use it or we don't. But it's this go-go attitude of get up and live. And I remember when I was younger thinking, what would we do if we didn't sleep? What a waste of time. I always found sleep to be... It's like I got people over here walking down the path. They're going to think I'm crazy. He's on the phone, so he doesn't care. He's probably as crazy as I am. He's talking to himself too. If we didn't have winter, if we didn't have morning, if we didn't have these things to throw the balance off of, or I should say throw the monotony off. What if it was summer all the time? That would suck. Having winter puts us in a position where we're able to respect summer. And so I feel like morning is a time for people to respect night. Or a time when a person could say, oh, well, I had a rough time last night, but I'm feeling better today, or I can start over. I don't know. I just kind of repeating myself. It's hard to explain. I thought at one time that without sleep, we could get a lot more done. And now I realize that we would get nothing done. Because without sleep, there would be no time for rebirth. And we extend these cycles. Now, the sleep cycle is just one upon many. There's the sleep cycle where you wake up and you're refreshed to start all over. There's the daily cycle. Within the daily cycle, I should say, where you have these momentary cycles where you're really happy one minute, maybe upset the next minute, cycles of emotions and cycles of even outbursts, but these cycles extend beyond our day into our weekly cycles, into our monthly cycles, especially for women who know that all too well, our yearly cycles, which bring through the weather and the different seasons to allow us to see a variety. And then there's the season of man's life. You know, just like the morning when you're born as a baby and you die as in the evening of your life, the twilight hour, as they call it. And there's a reason for that. And everything is symbolized. Everything is symbolized and locked into that whole structure of birth and death. And if you extend it beyond the yearly, you get into these longer 5,000 and 70,000 year old cycles that, where the earth goes through the precession of the equinoxes. And above that, there's probably some magnificent, monstrous, like cosmic scale where there's a giant season of, the space seasons, as they call them. And they do use that term, actually, when they talk about, when people would talk about the galactic center aligning with the Milky Way, of the Milky Way aligning with the Earth, and in 2012, how we're all going to ascend and become supermasters and float up to space, that kind of stuff. They use the term season, to describe that, because it is a spatial season. What if space itself is just a season within many spaces, many great universes? The microcosm and the macrocosm. I know it sounds cheesy, but it's like when you break it down from the fucking entirety of space down to the fucking minute microscopic components of an atom. It's just, you even go down further and it's non-existent. And then we get down to quarks and electrons and the idea that nothing exists and nothing really has substance at all, that it's all held together by some Higgs boson and some wild, energy force we don't understand, and how gravity seems to be so phenomenal, yet it's the weakest force we know of, and, all these different things that we don't understand. But what we can understand is our individual lives. What we can't understand is our sleep patterns. And that's why I'm going into this whole universal thing, because if we can understand what we're thinking and why we're thinking it, and how we feel in the morning, how we feel midday, and how we feel at night, aren't we a reflection of the whole? And can't we get a better idea of what the universe really is by acknowledging ourselves and analyzing ourselves? So what I'm getting at is, do you really have to prove that there's a higher power or something greater than yourself if you want to, or if you believe so? Or can you just know this merely by using the reflection of your own soul to determine the greater of the whole? Well, let me try to reword this, because I think it's an important point that I wanted to get across. It's that you don't have to prove that a God exists or that there's a greater picture. Because if you believe it truly in your heart, you have no one to prove it to, nothing to prove it to. When you have a true belief in something greater than yourself, you don't put a face on it, you don't put a name on it, you don't put it in a book, a Bible, you don't put it into any type of format that humans can only understand. All you can do is look at nature and think of nature as a pond, and that pond is reflecting the higher truth of the nature. In other words, when you look into a pond and you see the forest in the pond, you get a rippled view of it, but you can still see it. You know it exists. It's a reflection of the whole. When you look up, you see the trees and everything's solid. You don't need to look up to know that exists. In the same way, if you look at your body as this reflecting pond of the entire cosmos, then when you wake up in the morning, you realize that you're waking up with the universe, that you're waking up as part of all of it, that you are it, that you are a part, that you're not, it's not about you being God or you not being God, it's about everything being part of the cosmic mind. And when I had a conversation with someone the other day, one of my subs was asking how I can believe in intelligent design. And of course that word has dirty connotations to it. I was trying to explain it in words, typing how I feel about this. It's not intelligent design. It's intelligence through design. If that makes any sense at all, it should. It's intelligence through design. A baby's not born with his full capacity. He's taught and he learns and he becomes a man or a woman. In the same way, the universe is becoming God, becoming itself. It's becoming self-aware. And regardless of the trivialities of how the universe came into existence, whether there was a big bang or a big crunch or a big fucking bowl of Captain Crunch, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't at all. Because when you feel it in your heart, you know that you're reflecting the whole. You understand that. The idea that evolution came to this point through random mutation so we could just sit here and ponder our existence, merely these mortal coils out of nothing, that to me sounds like the most preposterous notion. The idea that all of this is here by chance, to me, it's not a matter of being too dumb or ignorant to realize how things form. It's a matter of not being able to fool myself anymore into thinking that this all is just here with all these repeating cycles and patterns, and it's not here to teach us something, because it is. And in my opinion, the things that I've learned by opening my ears, let's just put it this way, you can never be shut down. You can never close your ears to what you've learned. You can never close your heart to what you know. And in the same way that Christians will constantly profess, let's say, that they believe in Christ no matter what, they put it in their hearts. That's, the same way I believe about the universal mind, the universal consciousness, that I'm not here to try to prove it to anybody. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That is the last thing that I'm going to ever try to do in my life, is convince other people that there's a higher power or energy. Because if a person's more comfortable believing that it's all by chance, then that works for them. Judging by the reflections of the attitudes of a lot of people who hold that opinion, I don't think that they're content or happy. There's a lot of fighting going on about what's true and what's right. You'll hear people arguing about the Big Bang. It's like, shut up, just shut up. Well, I have no idea where my camera cut off, because I was right in the middle of finishing my video, and then I looked up and the time was gone. So all I really wanted to say was that it's easy for us to get wrapped up in what we think is right and what we think is true, and forget to question the big questions. Forget to be children in the morning. Forget to see the cycle for what it is. When the universe is young, it's energetic, it's hot, it's fast, there's a lot going on, a lot of experience. When a person is young, there's a lot of experience, a lot of things being given to them, and they're learning how to be a person. Why can't we extend this into the mornings? And every time we wake up, we just say, let's throw away these disagreements and arguments that we had before. Let's throw away these disproportionate thoughts that we believe something so strongly yet really don't have anything to back that up. But most importantly, if we do believe something and don't have anything to back it up, then we're not trying to prove it to everyone. Like the Big Bang Theory, or scientists arguing, calling each other mortal, complete idiots, because they don't agree with one another. And we see this repeated throughout the world, and YouTube is full of it. The whole internet's full of people arguing about what's right, but that's not the side of it that I see. I see the side of it where people are coming together and finding truth. We see what we want to see. And if we choose to see the negative reflection in the pond of the world, of people, then that's how we're going to see the universe. We're going to see it as a scary place where, evil entities roam and everyone's out to get us. I guess, let me put it simply, if we don't see the good in ourselves, we will never, ever see the good in the universe around us. If we can learn to love ourselves and find truth in that and be comfortable with who we are without having any expectations of ourselves to become or be something that society wants us to, well, then I think that it really opens us up for being able to completely learn, humbly learn, and experience something new each day. Like I feel like I'm doing right now. And that's what life's all about, so that's what I got. Darn it, now I'm going to have to link those videos together. Here's the park, the new park. If you walk up really quietly, you might not scare him. Roar!